So for those of you that are curious about real estate, this is going to be an update. We're going to talk about the current state of the market, what has happened in the last year, specifically in Thurston County, but I'm going to talk about the whole nation and then what to expect going forward for 2022. So the biggest thing that's happening right now is the interest rate coming out of the holidays went on the offensive. It went on the rise. So for those of you that have mortgages that are locked, good for you. For those of you that are looking to buy, just know that that rate has increased a little bit. Connect with the lender so you can get the specifics. And what we're expecting is to see this trend continue throughout the rest of the year. So we're not talking about the rate going from 3 to 6 or anything crazy, but we're talking about it going up incrementally as the year goes on. The second thing we're dealing with is housing inventory just remaining stupid low. So it's still low. It is lower than pre-pandemic levels. It's lower than pandemic levels right now. And that's going to be a continued thing that exacerbates, people looking for homes and struggling to find homes, but there's plenty of homes to be had. It's just a little bit more challenging. So the amount of buyers out there and the activity remains super high. Check out this slide right here. It's going to show us how the activity of those key boxes that realtors are opening up, and it's going to go back 5 years. It's going to show us the steady rise, but more importantly, it's going to show us how much more activity is going on in properties right now. One thing that I am seeing specifically in our area in the South Sound of Washington is that the Omicron variant of the coronavirus has delayed the typical amount of listings that we would see come on in January. So I don't anticipate this to be a major issue. What I see is just that there will be more listings that go on as we move into February. And that's to be expected. There's a lot of people dealing with school stuff right now. There's plenty of people sick, and it is having a slight impact, not a permanent one though. Home equity is really strong right now. So in Thurston County, the average homeowner gained about $80,000 in value in the last 12 months. And this is the case for most of the country right now. So some areas you're gonna see, maybe in California, it's way higher of a number, right? And then in some areas, maybe in the Midwest, maybe it's still strong, but it's not quite that $80,000. But the point being is that this year we will see a lot of people make moves, utilize that equity, and most people should be aware that it exists. So now I'm going to give you the specifics for our area in Thurston County, and then after that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what to expect for 2022. So last month I made some predictions, and the month before that the activity would drop, right? So the amount of homes that are listed, the amount of homes that are going under contract, it's obvious, right? It's Christmas time, it's the normal cycle of real estate. So let's get into it right now on those numbers. So one of the reasons why people are actually having a harder time right now in the last month getting into homes is because of the amount of new listings that came on. So check out this chart. So we went from 546 to 359 all the way down to 292. The important thing to know though is that's normal. If you look at last year's numbers, it was 289. This is basically the same number, right? So we're just not seeing a lot of properties come on. Every year January hits and it starts to go up. The second thing that compounds on this fact is the amount that are actually available on that snapshot on the first of the month. So you can see it dropped from 288 to 193 all the way down to 146. So in our county, residential homes, we have people still wanting to buy, and they're all being funneled to the same types of properties because there's just less of them. Just in that 2-month period, there's almost half as many, okay? But compared to last year, it's actually an increase of about 7%. So this time last year was 136. So it's not bad news. It's just news. It's normal. So again, these things all go in order. They happen in this order. All right. So now we're talking about the homes that went under contract, and you're going to see that drop. It's going to about half itself as well from November all the way to this past month as of the 1st of January. Okay. So we're down to 336 in the last month of houses that went pending. All right, so the amount of sales that happened in the past month, again, a little bit lower, almost the same as the year before though. So we're talking about last year, which coming out of the pandemic, everything was starting to normalize. So everything's looking really healthy in terms of the sales numbers and how many people were able to actually move into homes. So everybody knows that most people who are buying homes are paying over the asking price. And this is reflected in the list price sale price ratio. Okay, and that's been hovering around 4%. So 4%, you got a $500,000 house, Most people are paying 4% over on average, okay? On average, there's some that are paying higher for those hot homes and there's some that are paying less. So it's good to know that number because that's the barometer, the area somebody's looking to buy. Okay, on average, it's about 4% above is what's expected to get into the house. That number actually dropped for the first time in a while. It actually went down. It went from 104 to 103.9. Woo, right? You know, big deal, but it's just things are holding steady. It just means that buyer activity is still strong and people are having to fight to get into houses. So the house prices, I said, went up 18%. And so the average went from 432,000 to 512. This is just for a residential house in Thurston County. And this is happening all over the country, right? 18%. What's normal is about 5. Okay, so really strong appreciation. People are complaining about it because they think housing costs too much, and I totally understand. So I'm going to tell you what to expect for 2022 and how you should be thinking if you're looking to buy or sell in this next year. So what I expect to happen is that these interest rates that I talked about will continue to go up. I think they're going to only go up so much, but they are going to go up. So if you've been looking to buy, if you've actually got a loan put together and you haven't, maybe now's time to revisit what those rates look like and what that does to your monthly payment if you're a buyer. If you're a homeowner right now and you're sitting on a higher interest rate and you're going nowhere and you have not refinanced, now is when you're going to want to reach out to somebody that can help you with that. So coming out of the pandemic, loan forbearances will continue to decrease. They've been on the downward decline for a long time now. I expect those to continue to go down. Overall, the amount of people facing foreclosure or in foreclosure is actually fairly low. I expect that to remain low. However, there may be a little tiny bit increase as people are pulling out of forbearance, and there may be some additional sales that occur in the marketplace, but I am not expecting an avalanche of foreclosure sales to happen this year. Home prices, okay? Home prices are going to continue to go up more than likely, in my opinion. Again, Thurston County, 18%. Most economists, I'm going to put a slide up. The average of what most of these really smart people, right, what they think is about 5.2%. I do not think in our area we're going to go from 18 to 5. I think it's going to fall somewhere in the middle. Okay, so if you own a house, congratulations, you're going to make some more money on that house this year. Inventory is going to start to increase eventually. So if you're thinking of selling, it might not be the time to just sit there and expect it to just continue to make more money forever. But those home prices should remain steady or increase. I expect them to increase. Thanks for checking out the video. We have plenty of videos about Olympia. If you're interested in learning more about Olympia, be sure to like and subscribe.